Board games, board games, I'm not gonna shout. Board games are what I'm talking about. I am starting off this UK morning with a little bit of streaming and singing. And here I am beside my home in London, and I'm going to chat on my own. I'm going to check in with myself. How has this, this streaming gone? And I am going to delve into things right after this song. Board games, it's what I'm talking about. Board games, I'm not gonna shout. Hey, hello, and good morning, Alan. It is lovely to see you. As always, thank you for tuning in. And I am Bez. It is approximately bedtime. It's definitely bedtime in some parts of the world. There's definitely at least one person going to bed now. So for you, dear Flora or Felix or Fred or whatever your name is, I hope you have a good bedtime. And I am Bez, and I'm blethering about board games, and that is what this show is, the Bezzy Bedtime Board Game Blether. Now, today I am checking in with myself. I'm going to be chatting about, let's me talk about the stream. I wanted to ask you some questions. If you're watching this live, then I really want to hear your opinions. I might ask some of these questions elsewhere, like on Twitter or whatever. But yeah, I'm really wanting to hear from you. I hope you're having a good day. Before that, let's go through the regular segments. Brilliant thing, what's little thing which is brilliant? Brilliant thing. I do not believe I have ever talked about the tops, like screw tops on bottles. It's like brilliant. I mean, check that out. You screw it, and then check it out. No water is coming out. Is that not pretty brilliant? I mean, you've got a container for water, and I can reuse it. And I just go around and fill it with water, and then drink the water, and then fill it with water again. And that is pretty brilliant. And Andrew January, it is lovely to see you. I was going to send a message to you to check in if both those dates that you said you can do, you can still do, and let me know. But yeah, screw tops are so brilliant, and it's obviously brilliant to see all of you. Now let's move on to games. What have I been playing? What are their names? Games. Okay, so I've got 4 games I think to talk about. I've actually got visual examples. So let me show you Mindleaf. Mindleaf is a little game from Andy Hopwood where you have a board. You've got 4 of these bits, and they turn into a 4x4 square. And then what you're doing is you're going to take turns placing your pieces. For example, this piece means that the next person can only place orthogonally, so you need to go in this line or that line. Then maybe white goes here. This piece means you need to go close to the other person. Now, the piece that you place determines where the following person goes. So maybe brown goes here, and then white goes here, and because, they need to be close to one another, and then brown goes here, white goes here, and brown. Now, if brown is able, that was a terrible move by white, because not only could brown make a set of 3, which is the entire goal of the game. Can I move that up slightly? Maybe down. There we go. So yeah, now brown could go here with this diagonal, and because it needs to be diagonally in a line, So there's no space where white can go, so brown would get another turn, and then brown could go here and get another line of free. Probably not placing that one, probably placing, I don't know, that one, because, anyway. So here brown's definitely going to win. What are you doing? So this is a great game. It's by Andy Hopwood. It's, you know, you need to think about where your opponents can go, whether you're going to be blocked. I've had it for a while. It, like a lot of these two-player abstract games, it does turn into a situation where one person will know the rules better, be more experienced, and probably win all the games. But having said that, that's just the complaints about all of these games. As far as strategy, one of the best, Mindleaf by Andy Hopwood. I also want to talk about Pelago, also one of the best abstract strategy games. So let me show you quickly Pelago. So I've just been talking about Mindleaf, and hi Ashvarya Arun, I've just been talking about Mindleaf, and now I'm going to talk about Pelago. Pelago, this is how it comes. Pelago, this is one of my favorite games. So you start off your putting down 2 pieces on your turn, and every time you put down 2 pieces, you're trying to make a continuous shape of your color. So let's say I was red. Oh, whoops. So let's say I was red. I can't just go like that and make a circle. It has to be a bigger shape than that. But I could go, for example, like that. And now let's say white was silly and white plays there. Like Carcassonne, just to clarify, you do need to make sure that the colors continue. Now red could go boom, boom, because the 2 pieces always need to be next to each other. And I have now made a continuous shape of my color, and red would have won. Whereas if yellow had at some point managed to go there, maybe there, I don't know. Now if red ignores that, then white could have gone boom, boom. Wait, let me show you. Boom and boom, making a little shape. Obviously, the shape can be bigger. You could make like a really big shape. The point is that it needs to be entirely closed by this kind of black perimeter. So this would also be fine if it were a big shape like that. Hopefully that's clear. So that shape is entirely enclosed by the black perimeter. Now this Pelago, oh my gosh, this is so nice. Yes, Alan. It is very unlike any other abstract game on the market. When I bought it, it was several years ago. You could buy it in colors of your choice. I think one of them might have been blue and green. One of them is red and yellow. And so really nice, really, really nice. You kind of think in a totally different way. Let me talk about the third game that I played, which I am biased about. I'm not going to open this box because there's too much in it. But Chocolate Factory, I did work on this game, so I am slightly biased. It is by Matthew Dunstan and Brett J. Gilbert. It's quite a meaty game. It's been so long since I played it. I think this was actually the first time I'd ever played it since it came out. And the name of the second game, Pelago, Palago. So Chocolate Factory, it isn't really an engine building game. You are adding bits to your factory. You're going to be doing more and more every turn. But you get coal, which is your resource. You automatically get more every turn. This game is really about brutal efficiency. This game is about making the exact chocolates that you need for the sorts of the department stores, making the exact chocolates that you need for your corner shops, because you can only hold 2 chocolates, and the amount of coal that you get is not enough to run everything that you want. And so, yeah, Chocolate Factory, I worked on it, we enjoyed it. And finally, I played a lot of Kitty Cataclysm with Layla. We played about 5 times, I won 4. And then I afterwards made some modifications. You can see this is version 2, because I've taken out one of the cat chairs and I've replaced it with a scatter. I put it up on. Yeah, I've also Katana should be worth one less. This is for version 2. Catch, replace it with a fatter cat. And yeah, this one, the catchiest, should be worth only 3. And because that was only worth 3, I added another one of these. I'm not going to get into it. I will have a whole podcast about what changes I'm making for version 2 of Kitty Cataclysm. But we played it just because we wanted to, and then I was like, oh my god, I'm so inspired to have a proper chat about it. And Aishvarya Arun, please let me know if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. I hope I am not butchering it. But Aishvarya Arun says that they have enjoyed Chocolate Factory, and I'm very glad to hear. Yeah, awesome. I mean, I know that my parts in it was relatively small, but yeah, obviously I'm happy that you had a good time. Now, I just to show you quickly Chocolate Factory as it's laid out from my own photos. Why do I? There's here we go. Ah, awesome. Great to hear. So this is Chocolate Factory in action. I will say that those little things where we store the chocolates, those do not come with the game. This is your personal kind of conveyor belt. You're pushing those through. This shows the end of the game where I was in a very unusual situation and I just wanted to chuck through a lot of cocoa beans to turn them back into coal because I was in a massive coal deficit. And this is like the box, and that's Layla in the corner. And that's us enjoying Kitty Cataclysm. So let's move on to recent highlights, living life and seeing the sides, recent highlights. I might as well stay on here and show you. Here's my lunch/breakfast. Breakfast, like I technically had a bit of this, and then I had all of this, and then I went back to a bit of this. I had this like about an hour later. This was lovely. Seeing wonderful people. I chatted with Betsy. I kind of shout out to Russ from Drafts, lovely person, and we were so happy to see each other. I was walking past with Betsy, and I didn't even it was just so lovely to pop in and see them open, and obviously, yeah, safe distancing and everything. That is our selfie together. Normally we'd be hugging or something, but these are strange times. There I am in Drafts. Yeah, there's lovely place. Seeing a bits of nature, lovely things. Just big, I don't know what they are, maybe pumpkins. I think this is an allotment. And yeah, seeing all these signs that hopefully will go away quite soon. And yeah, that's the view. Just to say, this is Mindleaf in action. That's a game where I did exceptionally well. That is Physalis, which is a lovely fruit, which I enjoyed eating a whole bunch of. And yeah, there we go. Those are my recent highlights. And I hope that you have enjoyed life as well recently. Feel free to let me know. What have you been enjoying? What games have you enjoyed? What have you had a chance to walk outside at all? I'm just going to say, last night I did have, oh my gosh, a terrible dream, and I dreamt that, yeah, I'm not going to get into it, but I phoned up my dad to make sure that they were okay, and then I had a long walk today. I'm really glad that it was actually a solo episode. It really worked out nicely because I got to have a long hour walk and came back, and yeah, have you managed to get outside? Let me know. What games have you played? Oh, I'm sorry to hear. I hope that you managed to get out, even if it's just to walk out the block. As long as you do it in a safe manner, please make sure to keep engaging with people if you can. Rinse and highlights, washing care, that's Alan's highlights. Alan did lots of haircuts for the family yesterday. Congratulations. And hello, Jay Folsgaard. You're just in time for me to say that is the end of the recent highlights, but obviously don't, please feel free to ask any comments, ask questions, and do the fun like follow thing. But yeah, please, today it's going to be a solo episode, sorry. I'm going to be talking about the stream. I'm going to be checking in with myself. I'm going to be answering some questions. And if you have any questions, no matter how silly, that is totally fine. But if you have the silliest questions, I think that now is the time. So, and I will answer for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes, literally anything. Um, okay, I retract that. I will answer almost anything. Go on. Yeah, basically, don't ask me about, you know, really. There's a limit, but frankly, no one in the chat would go there, so I don't even know why. Yeah, silliness is fine, ridiculousness is fine, off topic is fine, just for the next 20 minutes. So, Andrew January, I enjoyed Taverns of Tiefenfall with Emily yesterday. I enjoyed it. Emily found the randomness a little too frustrating. I mean, I've not played that myself. There's something to be said for, like, you want a bit of randomness to make it so that you don't know exactly who's going to win. Like, that's, again, a problem with these kinds of games. Like, when it's perfect information and when one person is better, they are always going to win. Do you want a little bit of randomness? Like, frankly, Chocolate Factory, Layla was saying that, in their opinion, I got better personal goals than them because there's little corner shops that I have access to. There's also a drafting, and in theory, the drafting might be set up so that one person has like all the best options in one stack, and then that might be a thing if you actually believe that a couple of the things are really close. And I think that my biggest involvement with the game is to balance them a little bit better than they were previously. Yeah, there is a lot of randomness even in a Euro game, but at what sense do you want it? Like Kitty Cataclysm, I think, gets away with amazing amounts of randomness. There are definitely some games where it's literally unwinnable. Some games where Kitty Cataclysm I could win on my first turn. And Ashvarya Arun says, what kinds of games do you like? I should play my Taverns of Tiefenfall. Yes, if you've got people with you, if you've got the opportunity, yeah, go for it. Taverns gives you ways of controlling the randomness, but I think that's hard to do on your first play. Yeah. Well, I hope you manage to kind of, find a way to enjoy it. And much love to you and Emily. Anyway, so, questionably quick questions. I'm going to go for... Okay, so, did I have breakfast? No, I have imbibed literally nothing or consumed nothing since I went to bed. I did go up to bed fairly late, so it was like 2:30, basically, Leyland, I finished playing around 1 a.m. and then was just really buzzing, and then I did the whole Kitty Cataclysm thing, and then I went to bed around 2:30, 3. When did I wake up? Around 8 o'clock, I woke up. I phoned my dad to check they were okay. Phoned my mum, phoned my family, and then I phoned my dad and spoke to them for quite a while. The last thing I ate was last night. Was maybe special peanuts, by which I mean it was peanuts that were coated with a chili thing. That was something that I was eating whilst playing games. I was also eating those Physalis that you might have seen. Yeah, that's the end of the questionably quick questions, because apparently no one has any questionably quick questions for me to put in. So there you go. Now let's get on to the main topic, which... Oh, wait. Oh, I'm not sure. Wow. What? Wow to phoning my family. Yeah, it's not... Oh no, Alan, I'm not going to... I've already asked myself the standard things, like arts and rules, free games I love, favorite board game shop. That's stuff that I've also I've answered before. I was hoping that other people would add in more questionably quick questions. Right now, if you want to ask me something new, but I'm not going to dilly dally. Sorry. Um, so here's my question of the week for you, which is self-referential. Um, okay, so let's get into the main topic. I have been streaming for nearly 4 months. Let's chat about what's working. How could I improve? That's important to think about. Am I enjoying it? Yes, I am, although there's parts that I'm not. I'll get into that. How should I continue? I will continue, but how should I continue? What will happen after lockdown? Because things will definitely change, and let's chat. That's what I want it to be. Which is my favorite line of latitude? Latitude's the one that goes up and down. Let me double check that. Latitude and longitude. Latitude is okay. No, this. Oh, here we go. Here's an image on. I'm not. Okay, so I think that's latitude. Okay. I see. Okay, latitude. Okay, my favorite line of latitude is very close to the equator. That's what I like. I like warm places. I like Malaysia, Singapore, those kinds of places. That's where I would like to live long term. What is my favorite type of plastic? Recyclable plastic. What's my favorite ocean? The Pacific. Yeah, I mean, I know that I'm close to the Atlantic and I should be biased, but like the Pacific, I mean, come on, that's generally warm. Or North or South Pole, I mean, the one that it's the South that actually has stuff going on, isn't it? Like Antarctica's down on the south, and yeah. So dots or stripes? Oof, dots or stripes? Oh man, that's a hard. I think I'm going to go. So if I had to, I'm going to say dots because yeah, I feel like I don't know, they just visually appeal to me, and I like the rotational symmetry. I like dots. I like dots. That's all I can say. I do like the fact that stripes you can have horizontal or you can have vertical, or where I'm going with this. You've got horizontal, you've got vertical. What's the next one? Diagonal. So yeah, I do like stripes, and I like the fact that if you look at the L deck, I don't have one beside me because I'm outside, and I didn't think to bring one outside. I didn't think I was going to talk about it, but yeah. So I've got on the suits, I've got the diagonals, which is diagonal crossed lines. I've got the triangles, I've got the squiggles, then I've got the bubbles, which are basically dots of various sizes. I've got the horizontal, which is just horizontal stripes, and I've got the vertical, which is vertical lines with dots mixed in. And so stripes allow you to have more suits, which is really cool. And potentially, if you wanted to have cards, stripes could allow you to differentiate. But then dots, you could have dots of varying sizes. Like in what is it? Yeah, actually, I'm definitely going with dots because when I think about it, it's in Jungle Speed. If you have dots and the dots are varied in size, that is rotationally symmetrical, because I wouldn't like it if me being on a different part of the table put me at a disadvantage because I'm seeing it from a different orientation. So having the dots which are bigger, or the dots which are smaller, or the dots which are varied in size in a cross-shaped pattern, or the dots that are varied in size in a concentric pattern, those are really nice ways. Yeah, so dots definitely. My favorite island. Penang. Penang. Yeah, Penang. It's in Malaysia. It's like around Singapore, Thailand. It's really nice. My favorite constellation, I'm just going to say Leo because I'm there. My favorite's L suit. Oof. I would. I think the dots. I think I've decided that the bubbles, as I call them, the bubbles are my favorites. And my favorite time of day, I would say right now. I mean, these days, I would say around 10:25. I like this time, 10:25 UK time. When I've started my live streaming, I really enjoy the live streaming. I'm generally chatting to someone here around this time. It's kind of getting into the flow. Maybe before it's were okay, maybe not always. Maybe let's go with 10:35 because by that time, Calvin Wong Saloon will have definitely come in. My favourite bird, peacock. Yeah, I know it's like it's just pretty cool. I mean, male peacock with all those eyes going around. My even, I don't even know what that means. My favourite fish. Oh, okay. I'm just going with the Chilean sea bass, and not for eating birds or fish. Um, okay, for a fish are more exciting because they're from another world, but I appreciate birds more because I just see them. Do you know what I mean? I mean, familiarity brings fondness. That's the way it is to me. And so, yeah, now that is the end of the questionably quick questions, I guess. And so, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Andrew January and Alan Allison, for those questionably quick questions. Okay, now now I can move on. Great. So yes, I have been streaming for nearly 4 months. This is episode 121. And so yeah, I've been doing it for 122 days, at least. And before that, I was yeah, I mean the 122nd day, which was the special when I went onto the UK Games Expo main stage, that was quite different, wasn't it? Um, yeah, favorite episodes so far. Oh gosh, I don't. And thank you very much for the applause. Oh my gosh, this is too hard a question. Okay, fine. I'm going to look at my YouTube channel. I know that there's some actually. I'm just going to look at the recent ones. I guess, yeah, maybe I should just start chatting about this. Let me go back. Let me look at my videos. So if we look at stuff from the past 4 weeks, um, month, when did I last do my own check-in? I can't remember. Check-in. When was my last check-in? I don't know if I've done one of these for a while, you know. Oh, there we go, episode 87. So yeah, episode 87, that was checking in with myself. I've really enjoyed things like this. Jessica Talks Manufacturing, Tiz Talks Playful Art, where we talk about a subject and we are getting really in depth. I want to do more of this going forward. Steve D talking board gaming in Australia, the history of wargaming part 2. What's his best day? Writing in games, where we are talking, you know, I can't remember what we talked about that one. I think it was about oh yeah, the back of the box. Meeting Nuria. I've decided that I'm going to do a little bit less of these meeting people. I did really like meeting Nuria. Nuria is such a lovely person. And oh, guess I should talk about the unboxing in a bind. That was the shenanigans. Unboxing in a bind expansions, and then the special that was unboxing the Yogi, the French Yogi. Yeah, that was really nice that so many people tuned in. Thank you very much for that. Lolvi, I always enjoy talking with Lolvi. And Nuria, this is someone who I had seen. I was familiar with them. They were familiar with me, but we'd never really had a proper chat. Do you know what I mean? Same with Catherine Morgan. That now it's just been an opportunity to have a good chat. And I do enjoy that, but I'm going to try and move away a little bit from just meeting people. Yeah, I'm going to move away. Launching a game at Gen Con Online with Rose and Pizza, that was good. Meeting Dina, again, I enjoyed that, but yeah, Norbert's. Oh, that was a really good episode. Actually, you know what? I am tempted to say Norbert talks BGA programming because Alan Outson, who has asked me what is my favorite episode so far, is currently working. I hope this is still an ongoing thing. If it is something that you've decided that you just can't do or don't want to do anymore, let me know, and that's totally okay. But Alan Outson, and I'm super excited about this, is working on alphabetical or I believe is working on alphabetical. And if you want to, I mean, it is going to be a mild disappointment, but don't worry. I'm like, disappoint me now. Oh, fine. Okay, so brilliant. Okay, so yes, loving it. Back to it this coming week. Brilliant. So what I'm saying is that because of that reason, because this motivated Alan to start doing BJ programming, because of that, I'm going to say that 99 might be my favorite episode. 100 was pretty good. I mean, I like the what happened on 100 where people came in, and I did really appreciate, yeah, Alan, you coming in with that silliness and all that stuff. And I guess you kind of overcame your shyness. I appreciate that. And the whole notion of, okay, just everyone jump in. I'm going to probably make that a tradition if I can remember to set it aside. If someone reminds me when another 100 episodes are, because I don't think I've got to any other gaps, because there was a gap for UK Games Expo, but there's not another one. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Virtually Expo, yeah, that was a good shout. That was nice. With Rory Muldoon. Thank you to all these people who've just been, yeah, doing amazing stuff. Talking about the Manhattan projects, Energy Empire. Oh my gosh, that was, yeah, wow, that was yeah, just really getting into it and reviewing it with Alan Paul. And I'm thinking that with Alan Paul, we're going to talk more about specific stuff. We're not going to talk about Alan's games or my games, although we will talk about that by the by. We will talk about, okay, here's our recent highlights, working on our own stuff. Of course it is. But yeah, reviewing stuff, that was really nice. That was, yeah, again, shouts out to the people who come to my evening streams, the drawing and discussion, and to say, yes, we should do a bit more of that. I'm sorry, like right now, it's a crazy time for me. Meeting Ella, that was amazing. 2 hours, oh my God, Ella was such an amazing guest. And Calvin, like hearing about Twilight's Imperium. Oh, this was one of my favorite episodes just because Mark Harris helped me get the L deck onto Tabletopia, and now I've got Kitty Cataclysm onto Tabletopia. And what I might do is get version 2, which is tweaking 4 of the cards. I might get Chris to help me either next week or following week and get that up on Tabletopia. Meeting Saibepu, that was my first properly bilingual edition where Sai was having help from their husband, meeting Digisprites, lovely people. Wasn't like, well, it's 2/3 of them. Chatting about Kitty Cataclysm. I do like getting really in depth once in a while. The last 100 seconds of episode 100 was brilliant. And November 17th or 18th, maybe I should put that in my diary as well. So if we look at, this is my editable version. What did you say? November 17th or 18th. Okay, we can. I'll just episode 200. It's one of those days. Just so I remember not to book anyone else for. Oh, that might be with Alan Paul. I will have to double check. Anyway, so Jay of 3-Minute Board Games. That was lovely to chat with them, and I'm looking forward to chatting with them again on Friday about cultural appropriation. Mikkel, yeah. Oh, I need to do a show about puzzle, don't I? So that was a whole show about Mikkel. Then we, yeah, talked about board game conventions and family gaming. My top 5 L games. I was really happy so many people tuned in for that. I might do more top 5s, which might not involve my own games. 13. Where's 114? Oh, yeah. The State of Bez talk. That doesn't even have a number, but it was BBBB number 114, I promise you. It's just that it doesn't have a number. But yeah, the State of Bez talk, I think that was something that I was really happy I was able to do. I basically talked about everything for the past year and all my plans going forward. And in future, I would do that on a weekend where I wasn't at a convention, because that is actually a stressful thing to give. I I'm happy to kind of write notes and stuff, but I don't want to do that in the middle of a convention. This was a great one. Lolvi Talks LARP. I'm so excited to have them on tomorrow to talk about safety in LARP, talking virtually Expo, having a big debrief with Alan Paul, avoiding scams. And you can see what I'm moving towards, where I am being more specific. Avoiding scams, writing rules for board games, design intentions, what sharing stories via games, and checking in with myself, which is today. So yeah, 18th if I don't count the virtually expo one. So yeah, I'm going to go back and oh episode to yeah, there we go. Let's do that. So it's apparently 18th. I'm trusting you. I'm not missing any others. So yeah, basically, if it's on my own stream, then I count it as a my own thing. If it's on someone else's channel, then I don't count it. Anyway, so thank you for. This is a very self-indulgent episode. It is. This is like this title is checking in with myself and talking about my streams, and so in answer to the question, I think if I had to pick just one, Alan, it's not just because of you, but I will pick number 100 because of I don't feel happy picking between Tabletopia and this one because of what came of it. I don't feel happy. Episode 100, it represents something. It represents me, finishing it. It represents me being like, okay, I have done 100 episodes. Now, if I wanted to stop now, if I wanted to say, okay, I'm going to start winding down, I think a lot of people would say, wow, Bez did do a lot. And I think that thinking about it, I was realizing, hey, wow, I am really enjoying this. And this is something that I would like to continue. So if you look at the questions down below, let me turn this into a stationary banner just to stop it scrolling. And this is exactly the same text. So 4 months, that's quite a bit. Now let's chat about what's working. Yeah, that's just... So for me, there's a few questions. How long should this show be? I know that, Alan, you've kind of suggested in the past bringing it closer to 1 hour. And I know that there's people like 3-minute board games. Back in the past, I used to do the 1 hour review, maybe the 1 hour and a half review, and then the 1 minute summary, which I enjoyed doing, although the 1 minute summary was quite a bit to do. And then I basically stopped doing the reviews. I think that the thing for me that's generally working is talking about specific subjects. I don't at the start of this whole thing, I was taking inspiration from Pat Flynn, who does a thing called the income stream. And yeah, Heather Newton, shout out again to Heather Newton, who told me about this and said, hey, this other person's doing a daily stream. Maybe that's something that you could consider. So, okay, well, yeah, actually, I will do that. Thank you for the idea. And so I started this daily stream. And at the start, I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to get to anyone else. I'm going to... what's happened was I, at first, asked Jess. And I said to Jess, hey, would you be up for doing this every day? Because Jess... it works. It's in the afternoon for Jess. And in the first day, I was like, okay, let's do an Ask Me Anything. Or I think it was, let's talk about this specific game. And then Jess didn't manage to make it. And so it was because of that it became a solo show. So for a while, it was like, let's do Ask Me Anythings. Let's talk about Kawaii. Let's sometimes have a friend on who's regularly there, just as a kind of co-host. And now it's, you know what, I've pretty much stopped doing reviews because whilst I do give my opinion of these games, I do really like these games, and I'm very biased. Put that underneath the big box. So, how to put this? I think that there's more value in what I've been doing for the past week, as in having people on about, let's talk about specific things. Let's talk about a game that I made where I'm able to talk about it in an in-depth way. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to review a game again. Like if Jamie Stegmaier were to send me the new Tapestry like thing, then I would make sure that I play it a few times with Layla. I would play it solo, and I would give my personal opinion over the course of an hour or whatever. And I might even do a short. Would I do a short summary? Yeah, I might say, okay, for people, hey, if you want to listen to the summary, skip ahead to such and such a time to the end of the show. But I feel like there's more value in me offering unique content, and like what again, like this is partially what do other people get out of it, and also it's partially what I get out of it. Now, what you get out of it, I do ask this basically every month, but I would like to ask you, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching this after the fact, and if you're watching this after the fact, then you can get in touch with me on twitter.com/SufferBez. My direct messages are open. You can get in touch in Instagram, but that's a bit more complicated. I can only do it on my phone. Like Facebook, same thing. I don't really like their messaging system. I prefer either Twitter or email, stuffbybez@gmail.com. So if you are, say it's or someone who knows me personally, my personal Facebook, and if you're going to send me a friend request, please do. If you're going to send me a personal friend request, please tell me how you know me or whatever. And yeah, my Facebook name is spelt exactly that way, where it's, there we go, Bez Shahriari, or Behroza Beza Shahriari, to give me my actual legal name. So yeah, so if you want to add me on Facebook, you can, but please definitely tell me why you are adding me, because I kind of get funny about that. But message me if you're watching this after the fact. Let me know, why are you watching this? What is interesting to you? Why do you normally watch me? Is it for the community? Is it for the chats with people that you don't know before? Is it because you want to see me reviewing games? Is it because you like my top 5 lists? Is it because you really like me talking about my own stuff? Is it because of the behind the scenes kind of stuff where I talk about, hey, this is the reason behind this? And obviously, if you're watching right now, please let me know. And Andrew January, apparently Alan Outson says 17th is that, so I am going to put a question mark. Let me right now, while we're talking, I'm putting a question mark on the 18th, and because clearly we're not sure, and duplicate to the 17th, and so now it is in my calendar, as you can see. I guess Alan Paul could join me for my 200th episode. That would be totally fine. I like Alan Paul, but everyone else is still always going to be welcome. I think that's a nice tradition. So shorter would mean I personally would watch more, but then there's obviously less content for those who do watch more, and it's nice to have the warm-up before the in-depth chat. And that's a thing, isn't it? I'm just going to say, I don't know how much I would watch myself. To be fair, I don't think there is anyone doing exactly what I do. I do make sure to do a few things. I try to have a specific topic each time, or before, sometimes that topic was a person. So it was LOLV. The topic is LOLV. We are meeting LOLV. Now, if anyone in the comments asks questions, I do always try to answer. And yeah, Alan Outson says number 200 with Alan Paul would be amazing. And I kind of flag them up for a few reasons. I flag them up because A, when I watch a stream, if I write something and then someone ignores it, and then it's like, okay, I'm going to get to the questions at the end of the show, I feel like, well, why am I watching live then? Why not just solicit questions from us a few days beforehand and then do the show? It's like you're not really using the live medium to its full extent. If I'm if I'm watching a show, frankly, if I am watching anything, I want to get involved. Okay, maybe if it's on TV, if it's pre recorded, that's my own business, that's a different thing. But if I am watching a concert in the old days, if I was watching people playing music, I would be there. I would be going like, yeah, you're rocking, you're doing amazing. I would be screaming at at appropriate times at the top of my lungs to show my enthusiasm for them. And I would like a little bit of acknowledgement where they say thank you, just like a little thing. Obviously, there's a thousand of us, and part of that is just the energy of everyone around me, being around me. Now, let's look to a live stream. There has been one. Yeah, there's been a live stream which I have listened to, which is all about experimental music. It's like I watched the bulk of it, although there was a bit too much chat for me. It was a weird one because it's like, okay, there's a set list and then they're answering questions. That's a weird dichotomy for me. But I want to, if I've got a guest, if you say something based on what I say, I want to be able to respond to that. If you say to me, hey, I agree with what you're saying, I want to say, thank you. I hear your agreement. And I know that it's a weird kind of form of communication because clearly the focus is on me. I am able to more easily communicate. I am communicating to multiple people. I am kind of able to not force. You have all chosen to be here. There's currently about 5 people watching, and so yeah, thank you. So I'm just entering mod view, so thank you, yeah, everyone who's there. Thank you, yeah, Alan, thank you, Andrew January, thank you, Jay Foolsguard, and thank you, Aishwarya Arun, for popping in and giving me your time. And anyone else who's watching after the fact, I really appreciate it because you could turn off. That's one thing about the digital medium that you could turn off. And I see that Andrew and Alan have a comment and I am going to respond to it. But I guess there's the whole notion of streaming. It's incredibly egocentric and one-sided, isn't it? I've asked you to join me. You have given me your time. And yes, you are giving me this focus. You are allowing me to be in the spotlight. And I appreciate this. You are validating my life choices in some ways by saying, yes, Bez, what you're talking about has value. Yes, when you have a guest, we appreciate that you're talking about this. We are interested to hear what your top 5 L games are or whatever. And yeah, I just want to acknowledge that, honestly, I would love to have a chat with someone else about streaming because streaming itself is such a crazy thing. And when yeah, thank you very much. Andrew January, the thing that keeps me coming back reliably. Oh yeah, I just want to say I would genuinely like to have a guest come on to talk just about streaming because streaming, it's such a weird thing, and I don't mean streaming, how to do it, how to be popular. It's just like the whole notion of it. It's really weird form of communication, because if we were in the room, like let's say we were chatting, there would be the expectation for me to talk sometimes, for you to talk sometimes, and this is basically saying, yes, Bez enjoys talking, and do you enjoy listening? And this is very much putting you in certain roles. It's putting me, or potentially who I'm here with, as the person of, okay, war, and there's like that. It's weird. I feel weird about mentioning this, but there is like we've assumed very asymmetric roles. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to say there's a power imbalance, because in some ways there's a power with you, because at any point everyone could say, no, this is no longer interesting, I'm going to stop watching. And yeah, for sure, like 3 months ago there was one person watching, which was Alan Alton, and thank you so much, Alan Alton. And yeah, I'm going to so Alan Alton, why have you been watching for so long? Because you have been watching basically, or listening to, I mean, even if you're just you always say hello at the start, and then sometimes you're doing your own work. I appreciate, like, I don't expect your entire focus to be on the screen. If I were watching, my I would be like, I don't know, doing some exercise, doing something else simultaneously. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to move in about 20 minutes if I'm still talking. But yeah, thank you so much. And for me, it's a lovely way to start the day. I tend to use the time to learn as much about board games as possible without being disturbed by the multitude of other things going on. And Alan has still never missed an episode, so thank you very much. And even made a joke about rewatching. But yeah, so it sounds like whilst I'm talking, you're investigating little things. And if I can't click the link for Pelago, but I assume it's the same one. And so I talk about something, you look it up, and maybe it's a nice way to kind of be focused. And so I'm really happy that this has become a valuable part of your day. And Andrew January says, the thing that keeps me coming back reliably is the community, viewers and repeat guests, although new people are great. I like the specific topics with some more freeform rambling sprinkled in occasionally. I'm not fussed about the reviews. There are lots of other places to get those. And so, yes, that's it. Yeah, thank you for letting me know. And I think this is why Xate has told me that the reason that they come back is because they like to see Alex and Alan and Andrew, and sometimes even Jess pops in, which is amazing. And then Jess is excited to see Alan Alton, with whom, do you remember that time we had that, I'm sorry, Andrew, that you weren't there, but we played this game of, you Can't Stop, that's the one, Can't Stop, on Board Game Arena, and oh my god, that was so much fun, with Xate basically saying, oh yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going. And yeah, I think like people, yeah, I think it is like the whole community. It's like that. We've got people here, and it's like familiar voices. You start feeling like we are friends and we know each other. Do you know what I mean? So that's one aspect, isn't it? And I guess when I ask about what is your daily highlight and what are you looking forward to, what are your hopes and ambitions? You know, I mean, just in case people haven't seen all my banners, these are all my banners in order, Bessie Better Better, and then I talk about the show, then I do a brilliant thing, which I'm going to carry on as long as I can, games we've been playing, because it is a board game show. I will almost always do this, except for maybe there's 2 episodes where I missed it because I wanted to hit that 1 hour mark, because of a guest or whatever. Recent highlights. This is genuinely a check-in. I would love to hear about what's happened in your life recently, because I love hearing about what you've been doing, and I love hearing that you've managed to have some sense of normality with the family's hair, or you're playing games with your loved ones. And then I do this because I want people to engage. And if I'm like follow, I mean, honestly, at this point, I don't really care how many people follow me on Twitch. I would rather have, if I could choose right now, 100 followers or one person. Okay, that's maybe a. I was going to say I would choose two people watching. Yeah, if it was 100 followers, two people watching, I would choose the two more people watching. If it was like consistent every day, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. I would say for me, like someone just following is worth so much less than people actually joining in and being like, yeah, this is what I'm enjoying. Hey, Lolvi, you're talking about safety and LARP, but have you considered this? Hey, how can this be applied to board games and like things like that? Then, so comments and ask questions is really the big deal for me. I don't really care so much about the fun like follow. The reason that I care about, I care about YouTube, and I am going to give that YouTube link that I sometimes give. Wait a minute. There is a YouTube link where, here we go. If you click this link, I'm going to share a link in Twitch. And if you click this link, it will ask you if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I think if I get about 37 more subscribers, what am I on? 63. So if I got 37 more subscribers, I can be youtube.com/stuff by Bez, which would be pretty cool. And yeah, anyway, so the only reason I care about thumb likes and follows is because I want more people to comment and ask questions. And also, I'm not going to lie, there will be a day at some point in the near future when I will have a Kickstarter and I will advertise that. And yeah, sure, if this show was so amazingly popular that 100 people were watching it and 100 people jumped in and backed my Kickstarter on day one, then obviously, yeah, that would be amazing, but I don't realistically expect that. What I do realistically hope for, what I hope for is out with the realms of what I realistically hope for, which is, yeah, as opposed to dream for, or wildly hope for, is to just have a couple more people coming in and joining in and being more regular, which would be lovely. And I want to say, how can I do that? How can I make it fit into your lives? Should I be stopping right now? Because at the start, I was like, okay, 10:58. I should be stopping in the next 2 minutes. I want to be bang on within 5 minutes of the hour mark. Should I be doing that? Should I be, okay, we will have, let's talk about these things. So, yeah, I think this is important. I think we could be doing this a little bit quicker. I don't think this is a thing that anyone really cares about. Correct me if I'm wrong, but games I've been playing, it's a nice, easy way to say, what have you been doing? But maybe I should start saying, hey, games we've been playing, unless it's me on my own and I need to build up time, or we really need to ramble, let's just chat about that or it's a meeting a person. Like if one day I got the Steve Jackson from Steve Jackson Games, or indeed from Fighting Fantasy fame, either one of those, or if I got like a major name, for sure we could chat about just them for a full hour, and we could chat about games we've been playing for as long as they want. But maybe I should shorten that. That could be like just 2 minutes. Recent highlights, that could be shortened a little bit. That's always short, questionably quick questions. I don't see much value, honestly. How much value is there in the whole, what time did you wake up? What was the last thing you ate? This or that. I like these questions, but I think maybe I should start making them a little bit more about the topic. But at the same time, maybe I want to start making them the faster ones, the ones that are actually more quick. Because that's not the thing that anyone comes for, is it? But it is at the same time a nice thing to get the guest moving in. Then I talk about the topic, and then I sometimes have a quick COVID-related check-in, which I'm not actually doing right now, despite what the banner says. Then I do the recap, then I talk about my thing, then I talk about where you can find them, then we're looking forward to hopes and ambitions, which I think are very important. Remind people to share, spread the word, because I want this to grow. And then I talk about the next streams, because if you watch this, hopefully you're looking forward to the next streams. And maybe if you haven't watched, Yeah, maybe I should spend less time talking about my next streams. Maybe just the next 2 or 3. And then I sing bye bye, which I think is quite an important part of the show. Um, so yeah, let's get the here. So my laptop's about to die soon. So thank you very much for subscribing. I think the hour-long idea is worth exploring. It might be good practice. The two Steves together. What? Two Steves together? I don't get that. Two Steves together? Yeah, please explain what you mean. I like the questionably quick questions to warm up, but I think there are too many. That is... Oh, yeah. That's never going to happen. But yeah, one of them, if I manage to get that, or... Yeah, that would be amazing. No, I think that... I want the questionably quick questions to just be, which of these things do you like? Boom. Okay, now we go into what's a typical day for you. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm meeting something, I think what's a typical day for you is really interesting. But yeah, maybe I cut them down by half and I'm like, okay, let me save these questions and start being a little more... Okay, so let me check if I've actually... I'm not going to stop within the next 2 minutes. I'm going to try and start wrapping this up. I am going to try limiting myself to 90 minutes absolute maximum. But yeah, let's chat about what's working. So I think people have given me an idea that it's the community. It's having guests on. You like... Tell me, what do you think of the recent games played? Is that working? Also, tell me now... Let me swap this around. Am I enjoying it? Yes, I am. That's a simple thing to answer. But there is one day next week when for a moment I was like, yes, I have a date, okay, an actual real life, let's wear a mask, but then let's have a picnic, but sit a little bit far apart because we're being careful. Dates with someone. I've been chatting with them for about 3 months or so. I don't know when I first started chatting with them. Yeah, we met online. And yeah, that's next weekend. So yeah, why did I bring that up? Anyway, so when we were chatting about it's okay, we were going to have a date, but then they went to Greece, and so they had to stay completely staying away from anyone at all. They didn't want to come into centre of London or anything. And I was like, yeah, that totally makes sense. And I think there are going to be days going forwards when I will be thinking, yes, I would rather do something else. So what will happen after lockdown? My belief is that I will probably continue doing this on a daily basis, but some of them will be incredibly short. That's what I'm thinking. Because I like the practice. I like starting at 10 a.m. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I've pretty much always started within 1 minute of 10 a.m. It's basically between 10 and 10:01 I start, and recently played games takes too long. Yeah. I will see if I can. I mean, I like chatting about the game, especially when it's on my own. I mean, I don't have to... Maybe... I mean, the other thing that I could do is I could combine them. I could say, games, what have you been playing? What are our names? Or... No, that's not... I can't kind of combine them because games could be part of highlights, but only talk about the games if they are your highlights, but also talk about your work. And maybe for a guest, I say, okay, you have 2 or 3 highlights. Try to keep it to a maximum of 2 minutes. And thank you very much. I assume you mean the whole stream, like the fact that I have been doing this daily. And rarely have to wait after I've logged in. How about definitely quick questions where only one-word answers are allowed? Ooh. Nah. When it's me on my own, it's fine. When there's a guest, it can be me talking a little too long at the top. Yeah. And this is me almost thinking like maybe when it's my self-check-in, maybe these self-check-ins could be more regular. I'm noticing with my guests that my guests, when I ask them, when would you like to jump in? Sunday seems to be not a particularly popular day for whatever reason. And so maybe Sundays could be, hey, this is me talking about how my last week has gone. And that could be me talking about my games that I've been playing recently, where I actually show them off and I do a very quick unboxing. And it's not a full review, but I kind of check in, and then maybe I've got a quick topic with myself. Yeah. So, yeah, we've decided that being briefer could be a thing. And so, yeah, let's try it. The other thing that I wanted to share with you is if I show you this, I'm going to actually share this link in all the chats because I want this to be more publicly available. And I would like to ask you, what is there a guest that you would like me to have on? Is there a like, please don't ask for anyone. Please don't ask for anyone from America. Yeah, but is there a guest that you would like to have on that fits the sort of approximate time zone? And yeah. So let me take away that. Why have I got these both going on? So if you follow that link that I just sent, it will take you to this page where it's is the guest info, where it's okay. The stream starts at 10. It's between 1 and 2 hours. Have a wide-reaching topic. That's a new thing. Entertain, pass on knowledge, because that's what I want to focus on. I want to make sure that people are not just coming on to promote their thing. I want to have an open invite. If anyone wants to come in, if they feel like they will be able to chat about, if someone's been making party games, well, let's talk about party games, although let's even get specific. Let's talk about catch-up mechanisms for an hour. Let's talk about ways of sharing stories via interaction for an hour. Let's talk about area control games for an hour. Let's talk about designing auctions for an hour, but like not just about your game. I want that to there's dates, there's a calendar. I have the typical schedule, which is here. Maybe I'll actually add that to say 10 to 30 minutes. Let me actually tweak that right now. Let's say going forward, this is going to be 20 minutes. And the main topic is 40 minutes to 60 plus minutes. I want the main topic to be the bulk and the wrap-up intro. So currently what I'm saying is that this is 10, 40, 10. So 1 hour minimum. And then that's things that people have to do if they are coming onto the show. And yeah, that's the whole thing. I hope. And so I've tried to do that. Hello, J Fool's Guards says that sounds like a good idea. And I am going to, maybe run in because it's, or maybe let's see if I can stop this show in the next 4 minutes. Can I change all? Where is Alan Oudson? Let me. Okay, I've changed that to. There are sometimes some rhetorical questions in chat that don't need answering. Yeah, I've changed it right now just for you, Alan. There you go. I hope that pleases you. Okay, so there you go. So yeah, I enjoy your sarcasm. The point is, like, sometimes there's questions in chats where you're having a conversation, and I really love that. I really love it when people are chatting together, when people are making connections, and I love the fact that is there any connections that are fostered because of me? Like, I guess, the L design competition, did encourage Alex and Xate to come together. And I'm sure there are, people who at least know each other a little bit, who've played games a couple of times because of, and I love that fact. Anyway, so going back to the questions, yeah, what I'm thinking is after lockdown on a Friday, if I'm going to playtest, I would still do a show at 10 o'clock sharp because I can do it from my phone as long as I've got an internet connection. And so what I would do is maybe just make literally a 10-15 minute show. No exaggeration. Just say, yeah, this is me. We are going to be playtesting. Let's literally just do, these are the recent highlights. This is things I'm looking forward to. And let's have a quick report on how everyone is. I hope you're doing well. And Friday might just become a quick, hey, how is everyone? Just for 10-15 minutes. And then after 10-15 minutes, I would get back to chatting to whoever is on the table and, being present with them. Because I don't want to have an hour chat when there's people there. Oh, Alan. I don't know whether that's sarcasm or not. But yeah, genuinely, so that's how I imagine going forwards. 3% battery left. Let me change it to how much. I can't show the time. Am I enjoying it? Yes, I am. How should I continue? Probably every day. It sounds like everyone's happy with it being a little bit shorter. What will happen after lockdown? I will probably continue it if I can, although I'm not going to say I will do it every single day because there will come points when I want to travel, when I want to, and I'm not going to say I'm never going to have a journey that does not fall. I need to be on my phone at 10 a.m. every single day. I will let you know. I will tell you this day it is not happening. I will have a special thing on the Google Calendar, which hopefully everyone has seen. Let me share a link to my um, Google Calendar. Do 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 do. Let me do. Where's her? Here we go. So must be sarcasm because it uses that. That isn't a marker of sarcasm, but it means it must be sarcasm. Okay. And yeah, basically, one day in the future, I am going to go back to traveling. But I believe that this is a thing that I really enjoy. If I'm at a convention, I imagine myself running around a convention hall and checking in for 5 minutes. If UK Games Expo is starting at 10 a.m., I imagine myself saying, hey, UK Games Expo is just starting. Here are my wonderful volunteers. This is what we're going to do today. And so there we go. And Alan Alton says 75 minutes is a perfect amount of time. 60 minutes is too short. 90 minutes is great. 90 minutes is great. Wow. So, okay, so it's not perfect, but it's still great. More and I tend to start wondering about other things. And so I think we have rambled enough. You know what? I need to rush in. I'm going to stop my camera just for a second because I do need to. I'm about to. My laptop is about to die. And so, yes, I appreciate I've not quite made it the perfect amount of time, but Alan, I kind of agree with you. At the same time, when there is a guest, when there is So, can you hear me again? Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Um, hello. Can you hear me again? I am here. Do 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 do. So, it is indeed sarcasm. Oh, intermission music. I enjoyed this. Please stay in your seats. Do 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 do. Okay. Yes. At the same time, when there is a guest, like Ella or someone who is willing to give me their time, or Stella. Oh my god, I'm so looking forward to having them on from Board Game University, Stella and from Board Game University, and I'm so looking forward to having them on. And if they are willing to give me 2 hours of their time and to continue chatting, then I want to. I feel like I would like to take them up on it. Um, Maybe I should say in the thing that, um, yeah, honestly, if everyone go through that guest thing, give me your feedback. That is my intention, and I'm going to actually edit it right now after the thing to say that the show I tried the show aims to the stream currently aims to last about 75 minutes. I try to keep it to about the 75 minutes. And if you have a lot to say, it can go on for longer. There we go. Yeah, I think we are live editing. Wait, have I turned on? Yeah, I have turned on my camera. We are live editing. So, yeah. So I think that feels like a solid thing. Honestly, I would love to have people on as often as they are willing to give me their time. And all I can do, frankly, is look about a month into the future. If I try to, under today's circumstances, if I try to think of a world in which I am going to physical conventions, in which I am traveling, that is not great. There's a reason why in my calendar I put Alan Paul up until, a certain date, and then I stopped because, I don't want to assume too much of them. And, with Colvin, I don't want to assume too much. And it's like, okay, at the end of basically, I went up until the start of October, and then it's like, okay, we will see what happens then, because we've no idea what will happen. But all I can say is for now, I am enjoying it. I hope you are enjoying it too. As always, feedback, not just during these streams, but anytime, please reach out to me. And always feel free to reach out via Twitter, even via Instagram, even though that's not my favorite method, or via email. That is here to do. And yeah, I think that's pretty much us done. How could I improve? We've chatted about that by shortening it. That seems like a good thing. And the past few weeks, I've started making them specific. That's a good thing. I'm enjoying it. Yes. How should I continue? By making it shorter. What will happen after lockdown? Let's not worry too much about that right now. But I will probably, just to warn you all, start doing some very short streams. That's my expectation of what will happen. Thank you, everyone. To recap, yeah, I guess I did just recap, didn't I? The basic recap is that I should do stuff shorter, that people are enjoying the community because you are all wonderful people. Thank you. Everyone in my life, there's so many wonderful people in my life, Andrew and Alan and like Jay Foolsguard, even though I don't know you really, you just seem like a nice person based on your things, and like you're a source of positivity, and Ashvarya and Sate and like Alex, even though you're not here right now, and all these people in my family, and like all, but like as we start being able to see other people, I think that's a reason for me to shorten it as well. In 2 weeks' time, I'm going to see my parents, and I'm going to stay with them for a week. At which point, it makes sense for me to shorten this down rather than spending 2 hours 40 on a stream. Maybe try and okay, if we are having a really good debrief with Alan Paul, I might keep it going, but try to shorten it. And so thank you, everyone. So yes, what are people's Sunday plans? Cause I guess let me bring that up to what are we looking forward to? Hopes and ambitions, it's over to you for this final section. So yes, Andrew January said they should do some prototyping, but they will probably just watch television. MJ Foolsguard, do bits of prototyping before the TV. Like, should is always a strong word, though. I mean, I hope that Andrew, I mean, I realized myself as well, all the things that I self publish, all of this, frankly, this, whilst a game that I self publish, I might go on to publish it with someone else, I'm realistically never going to make an income. And that was a hard but in a way freeing realization. And I kind of realized that I'm going to make an income potentially from something like, okay, if Categoric Hell, I do manage to sublicense it to someone else, like Cocktail Games or someone who is a better business person than I am, then sure, it might be able to make some money. And obviously, Tom Cauldron will get a percentage of that, and I would get a percentage of what that bigger company makes. And similarly, like if my next game Plus, frankly, I've realized that Plus, even though I think it's a really, really good game, I'm realistically never going to make money from self publishing it. So I'm going to just get it out there. And I am looking forward to that. But it makes me realize that in some ways, the level of quality doesn't have to be as high. Like I've kind of decided, I talked previously about having these tuck box games and then the nicer version games. The idea of the tuck box games being like, okay, I feel like they are a budget version. It's the first edition. Anyway, but I just want to flag up that word should. These things, they are hobbies. Why should you do it? Are you enjoying it? Is someone else, is it going to result in something amazing? Are you going to enjoy it down the line? Is it going to be something of value? I'm not saying that it's not going to be something of value, but is it something you're beholden to because it's a promise or some financial obligation or something? And let me know. You don't have to let me know, but think about it and why the word should. Basically, do it because you feel like it's something valuable to you, not because you feel like it's something that you should do. I hope that doesn't sound too condescending. Sorry, Andrew. I hope it does. I really worry sometimes that I'm being a patronizing arse. And sometimes I feel like I would like someone to remind me of these things. So I hope you don't mind me. Okay. Well, in that case, I do absolutely agree with Jay Foolsguard. Maybe limit the TV if you really feel like you're exhausted. You need to watch a TV. I guess Friday Interactive here, but if you need to watch like TV for a 20-minute show or whatever, then limit it to that, and then do the prototyping, and then go back to it. And I hope you do enjoy it. I hope you all have something to look forward to. I hope you all have hopes and ambitions. I hope you all have wonderful days ahead. And as always, I keep saying this, but whether it's um, just after this stream, a lovely meal, whether it's later today, um, whether it's going for a walk, whether it's seeing someone in real life or on the internet, whether it's managing to do something, anything that, or maybe it's next week or in a month or in a year's time. It's always important to have these hopes and ambitions in your own heart. And for myself, the things I'm looking forward to or hoping about are that after this, I am looking forward to having a quick meal, which will probably be cereal, maybe some strawberries and some milk. And I'm going to watch um, maybe one episode of a show. Like, I'll limit myself to 40 minutes of TV. I do need a bit of an energy kind of thing. Sometimes I might do a bit of hula hooping. I might actually do hula hooping whilst watching the TV, then have my cereal whilst watching the TV. That would be good. And then I will get on. My hope is to get on top of writing the LARP, and then I'm going to communicate with Lolvi to ask them to look at a first draft. I'm hoping to have a first draft written by the end of tonight. And I've also got some work to do for family who cannot be in London, and yeah, basically some office governmenty boring. Um, I'm not going to get into it, but I hope that it's easier than I fear, and I hope that I'm looking forward to the cycle, because I do have to cycle about 7 miles, and it should be nice. It's not raining. It doesn't look like it's about to rain. And yeah, I might even buy myself a bubble tea. I probably, you know what, I might even cycle there and not buy a bubble tea. But those are some of the things I'm looking forward to. Please, if you've enjoyed this, share, spread the word. I know this really isn't a good episode for someone to come in for the first time, so probably don't share, spread the word about this particular episode, but share, spread the word about my next streams. And if I look at the date following the other link, which is the public link, then my next streams are, where's today? Safety and LARP with Lolvi. And then that's tomorrow at 10 a.m. Tuesday at 10 a.m. I think we've decided I'm only going to limit myself to the next 3 streams, right? Marketing and community building with Dina. Well, I'm really looking forward to that, because that's something that I need to learn a lot about. So I'm hoping that Dina will teach me a lot. And that's one where, yeah, if Dina wants to talk for 2.5 hours, frankly, if Dina wanted to keep talking to me about that for 5 hours, I would happily keep streaming, because there is a personal benefit to me. I'm just saying it like it is. And then Q for you, and we're playing something else. Feel free to suggest a game. That's the Tuesday 8 p.m. and Simon Caruso and Testable. So there is only one thing left to do, and that one thing left to do is to say bye bye, bye bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye bye, bye bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the end of the show. Oh, apparently, Alan Outson's commitments is to spend my morning episodes working on BGA, Board Game Arena Alphabetical, up to 90 minutes max. I really like that. And I do note that I am at 11:29, so I'm almost bang on 1 hour 30. Maybe, yeah. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the end of the show. Bye bye, bye bye. And now it's time to go. Bye bye, bye bye. This is the goodbye song. Bye bye, bye bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye bye, bye bye. Oh, this is the end of the show. Bye bye, bye bye. And now it's time to go. Bye bye. And thank you very much for watching.